Good morning, Ms. Hassim. Good morning, Ms. Killian. And good morning, General. Yes.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning, General.
Good morning to you, Commissioner.
We're going to pick up the pace a bit today.
Actually, General, I want to say something. If we continue at the pace that we were proceeding at yesterday, we are sure to run well into the afternoon before we reach page 90 of your statement. If you can try to pick up the pace and perhaps even avoid, if possible, substantiating on some of the points. You are not substantiating on all, but you did do so in quite a few. If you could try to avoid that, and also, if possible, from our side, we will try to avoid asking clarity-seeking questions. We can always do that, even at the stage when you are being engaged more pointedly, because we want to get through your statement. Can you try to do that, say, by tea time, by 11? Try to be done by then?
I will try my best.
Try. Please do, General. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Yesterday we had dealt with the annexure SS29, which is linked to paragraph 183 of your statement. And it's the second contention of the three contentions in the section that you're dealing with. General, do you want to pick it up from paragraph 184?
Paragraph 124, I just also want to get the file ready, the one for the annexes. Take this water away, please. Yeah, I don't want it. My apologies, sir. This paragraph?
184. You had finished at 183 yesterday.
Yes. Commissioners, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to read through as advised, even as discussed with the evidence leader, non-stop, so that at least I get to finish the statement. So, as it is apparent in this document, the Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection is a custodian of all case dockets within the South African Police Service. The information not expressly records the operational challenge that arises when case dockets are investigated within other environments over which the Deputy National Commissioner of Crime Detection has no managerial oversight, while still being held accountable for the performance outcome associated with those dockets. It is further confirmed that such dockets are included when detective service performance is measured, thereby reinforcing the necessity for investigative accountability to reside within the crime detection environment. This evidence directly contradicts the National Commissioner's attempt to portray my intervention regarding the dockets as improper or misplaced. The information note confirms that proper investigative command and accountability must reside within the crime detection environment, precisely as I had maintained. His effort to characterize my insistence on adhering to this established governance principle as a point of contention is therefore unfounded and appears crafted to create the false impression of discord or power struggle, when in truth my position aligned squarely with approved SAPS policy and performance accountability. Furthermore, I attached hereto a letter dated 9 January 2024, authorized and signed by me in my capacity as Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, addressed to the Divisional Commissioner Crime Intelligence, marked Annexer SS30. This correspondence highlights the poor performance of detective service arising from long outstanding case dockets that remained within the crime intelligence environment, including counterintelligence investigation. Then I marked here with a pen page 484. So I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to read through the statement. The letter records that 71 case dockets, 81 charges, were currently retained at National Head Office of Counterintelligence Investigation and requires that feedback on these dockets be provided to the crime detection environment. It reinforces that investigative accountability for case dockets properly resides under the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection. It further illustrates that my engagement on this issue was consistent, transparent, and directed at ensuring compliance with approved South African Police Service performance structures, rather than reflecting any personal or improper motive. To characterize this matter as anything beyond a routine operational adjustment is an attempt to inflate a minor issue into something far more significant than it ever
Sorry,
was.
General, I think you've skipped
I skipped.
a page. You actually had page 60, 189.
Apologies. I don't know if I should really read it from the previous part so that it flows. Or
You
must I
can
just
continue
carry on?
from 189 additionally.
Yeah, additionally, yeah.
Additionally, and as appears from Annexes SS29, the National Commissioner did not approve the request insofar as it relates to counterintelligence dockets. Contrary to the narrative he now seeks to advance before the Commission, I accepted his decision and left the matter at that. I did not pursue it further, nor did I insist upon any transfer of counterintelligence docket. It is therefore incorrect and misleading for National Commissioner to suggest that I was intent on removing counterintelligence docket from the crime intelligence environment. Then I said, please refer to page 484. Paragraph 190, notwithstanding the above, it must be emphasized that my proposal was entirely unexceptional and fully consistent with generally accepted governance standards. It is concerning and quite frankly unbecoming for the National Commissioner to elevate such routine matters of operational oversight into so-called point of contention, when in truth they were matters that any person properly discharging the responsibilities of Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection would be expected to raise. His attempt to retrospectively label ordinary and policy-aligned oversight as something untoward is unwarranted and should not be countenanced. Just to add that this is what the National Commissioner expects me to do, just what I read above. So paragraph 191, the National Commissioner's third alleged point of contention relates to my view that General Khumalo should not continue to oversee the PKTT and that its oversight should instead be assigned to General Senthumule. My position was premised on the operational reality that Crime Intelligence Division was suffering the consequences of General Khumalo's extensive involvement with the PKTT, resulting in this diminished focus on his core mandate and responsibilities. To characterize this matter as anything beyond a routine operational adjustment is an attempt to inflate a minor issue into something far more significant than it ever was. In any event, the holding and expression of views in both lawful and inevitable in the is both lawful and inevitable in the proper discharge of executive and operational functions. Such engagement form part of ordinary decision-making and operational discourse, and is neither prohibited nor irregular. The expression of such views or options cannot without more be transmuted into evidence of impropriety or misconduct. Properly understood, the National Commissioner's complaint against me is not a bona fide complaint. It is contrived, selective in its focus, and premised on an incomplete account of the events leading to the disestablishment of the PKTT. In particular, it seeks to isolate my conduct from the broader institution and leadership context within which the relevant discussions and decisions occurred. The complaint further fails to engage with or account for the National Commissioner's own leadership responsibilities, including his prior knowledge of, participation in, and contribution to the discussions and processes that culminated in the disestablishment of the PKTT. By omitting this context, the complaint advanced a distorted narrative that improperly characterized routine operational engagement as misconduct, while deflecting attention from the National Commissioner's own role in the decision-making process. Allegations made by General Khumalo. I now proceed to address and canvass the allegations made by General Khumalo during his testimony before the Commission. At the time of depositing to this affidavit, I had not been finished with the written statement and the completed transcript of General Khumalo's evidence before the Commission. I have accordingly not been in a position to properly consider or analyze his evidence in its entirety. In this regard, I refer to Annexer SS4 and SS5, being correspondence exchange between my attorneys and the Commission concerning the documents I requested, which were necessary for the preparation of this affidavit, and which, as at the date of, hereof, I had not yet received.
But
I also attached.
I'm sorry, General. Ms. Hassim, if I'm not mistaken, in my reading, I think I picked up about 3 such complaints, possibly even 4. Is it correct that the General did not get the documents he's referring to? And if so, what's the evidence leader's explanation?
The statement, annexures, and transcripts were provided on 16 January in relation to this complaint regarding the evidence of General Khumalo. So there's been time since 16 January for the witness to address it.
All right.
And that was going to be my question now to the witness, which
All
is
right,
to say, General, that this was provided to you on the 16th of January, and you haven't supplemented.
All right, let's leave it then. Let's deal with it during the questioning,
Sure.
if that's found to be necessary. General, please continue. I also attach here too.
What I wanted to ask, Chair, is that
Do you wish to respond to?
yes, as you can see, Chair, this part I underlined.
General, may I suggest this? I heard Ms. Hassim say that she is going to engage you on this at the second stage of this process. May we leave the explanation you want to give for that stage, please?
Okay.
Thank you. You will get the opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you, General. Please continue.
I will proceed Chair, the reason why you see me reading this and going straight, it was as advised that you go through the statement. So I was just going through the statement.
Yes, yes.
Maybe if there is any supplementary, so I wanted to check if there is that I can then maybe take from and read so that I don't get to a point where I still say we didn't get when in fact it was then later given, but in different files. So that is what I wanted to check. Because sometimes if it was indeed sent on that date, it's something that I should be having, but I will proceed reading, Judge, as what I have in front of me.
Please,
Thank you, Chair.
You should do so. And my colleague, Commissioner Khumalo, has just showed me the date stamp of the commissioning police or sub-center. It appears that the affidavit was commissioned on the 12th of January, which appears to be, or rather, which is before the 16th that Ms. Hassim is referring to. So factually, what you say may well be correct. But as I say, let's engage further on this at a later stage, if that will still be necessary. Please
I will
continue.
just proceed reading.
Please continue.
Thank you. Paragraph 1.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure whether we're talking past each other. So the statement is correct that at the time, the annexures and transcripts in the statements had not been provided to the witness, but they were then provided on 16 January. So my point was, did you supplement it then? Because as far as we're aware, there's no supplemented statement that we've received to address the further information that you said you wanted to address in this statement pertaining to General Khumalo, for example.
What I may say, my legal team may advise if we did, of which I think we responded. However, I did make my own notes on the side in case I have to continue on General Khumalo, but then I don't want to deviate. I have made my own notes of what I want to say, but as maybe directed by the chair, I will read.
Yes,
until
yes, General.
Let
us do that.
Thank you, Chair.
Let us do that.
Paragraph 197. In these circumstances, I confine myself to addressing only those aspects of his testimony that were glaring to me at this stage. I respectfully reserve my right to supplement this affidavit and to deal fully with General Khumalo's evidence once the written statement and full transcript have been made available. General Khumalo testified before this commission that a white BMW, which he asserted was assigned to my office, was observed on 27 November 2024 at the residence of one Katiso Molefe, and that the driver of the vehicle was allegedly seen collecting a white paper bag from Molefe. I submit that testimony is factually unsustainable. The white BMW in question was only assigned to my office on 4 August 2025. I attach here to a diary entry made on the very date the vehicle was received, marked SS32. The entry record not only the receipt of the vehicle, but also its condition at the time. Then I have written here page 501 and 502 in a red pen. Accordingly, at the time the vehicle...
General, sorry to interrupt. Just for the record, Chair, the witness did this past Monday submit to the Commission an additional annexure SS46, which is to be read with this paragraph 200. It's not reflected here because it only came on Monday. Continue, General.
Accordingly, at the time the vehicle was allegedly seen at Mr. Molefe's residence, it was neither assigned to me or my office nor under my control. The premise upon which General Khumalo's evidence rests is therefore demonstrably incorrect. In addition, On 27 November 2024, I was in Cape Town on official subs business, attending a meeting of the Portfolio Committee on Police. I attached here to marked SS33 corroborating documentation, including the hotel receipt for my accommodation and the official agenda of the Portfolio Committee meeting for the date. The document objectively confirmed my whereabouts. There are no obscure or contested facts. They were readily verifiable through elementary checks of vehicle assignment records. General Khumalo's failures to undertake such verification before presenting this evidence materially undermines the reliability of his testimony. More significantly, the omission of this readily ascertainable facts resulted in evidence being placed before this commission that is not merely incomplete, but misleading in effect. The testimony creates an inference of proximity or association with, when tested against objective records, cannot be sustained. In these circumstances, General Khumalo's evidence on this issue must be approached with caution. The demonstrable inaccuracy of the foundational facts, coupled with the absence of basic verification, raises serious concerns about the credibility, objectivity, and evidential weight of his testimony, particularly insofar as it seeks to implicate me by association rather than by substantiated fact. In addition, the persistence in advancing these allegations without verification and in circumstances where objective record directly contradicted, in my view, places his motive for doing so squarely into question. It is also noteworthy that General Khumalo presented this commission evidence depicting the said notorious white BMW following and providing protection to me during October 2025. This raises a fundamental difficulty. According to the testimony of the National Commissioner, information allegedly implicating me in the involvement with an alleged drug cartel had already been made available to Minister Mgunu as early as January 2025. If that is so, it is unclear why evidence from October 2025 relating to a vehicle assigned to my official security detail only in August 2025 is being relied upon to retrospectively link me to alleged conduct said to have occurred in November 2024, at a time when the vehicle was not assigned to me at all. The chronological disconnect is stark. Evidence post-dating the alleged conduct by almost a year is being deployed to suggest corroboration of events which, on the objective facts, could not have involved me or a vehicle under my control. This incongruity renders the evidence not only irrelevant to the allegations it seeks to support, but also misleading in its effect. When viewed holistically, it underscores a pattern of selective presentation of facts divorced from their proper sequential and factual context. In my view, this is not a benign oversight. It materially undermines the reliability and probative value of the evidence, and taken together with the earlier inaccuracies, place General Khumalo's credibility and his motive for advancing this narrative squarely into question. The cumulative effect of the evidence placed before the Commission reveals a pattern of selective disclosure, whereby information is chosen and presented in a manner that advances a predetermined narrative about me rather than a balanced, objective account of witness C. Now,
account of the facts. That's how the sentence ends.
Can you please repeat?
Sorry, you misread the last line. It should read rather than a balanced and objective account of the facts.
Now, my concern, commissioners, this is a very important part of that was the nation believed that I'm involved, and a white paper bag they went to collect the paper bag associated with me. I don't want to elaborate much, but what I want.
Don't you think this statement does that fairly substantially? Because the simple point made there is that, as I understand it, at the time the BMW appears to be linked to you, it had not yet been allocated to your office. And I think you make that point quite clearly. Do you think there's a need for substantiation?
Yes, Commissioner.
All right,
I think there's a particular specific
but
need.
please be brief.
I will be brief. That vehicle was allocated to the detectives for quite some time. It has been with the cold case unit for quite some time. Now, at the time, it was used by my two protectors. These two is a team that I chose when they were at. This is the team that I deployed at the border gate of Mozambique to fight crime that side. I said, let me call the people that I trust. And then they sent them, whilst I was already on suspension long time ago, they knew about this BMW. They had it. They had the footage. They had the CCTV footage. But they chose, after the chair said to General Khumalo, I've gone through your statement and I came across no evidence. He booked sick leave. When he comes back, then he introduces this part and the part of Jerry Bushura. Now, this part to link the BMW as the one they gave to the protectors as they kept there, I knew. They didn't even know about the BMW. I didn't even know that they are sitting with CCTV that involve the one who went to collect the bag. Now, there's this new people who come not knowing anything, they give them this BMW. Then later they come, they say, you see this BMW driving out of General Sibiya's house. This is the same BMW. Then the whole country saying, yeah, this is what we've been seeing, which is not the case. I can move on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Allegations made by witness C. As with the testimony of General Khumalo, at the time of depositing this affidavit, I had not been finished with the written statement or the complete transcript of this witness evidence before the commission. I have accordingly been prejudiced in that I have not been in a position to properly consider or analyze this evidence in its entirety. I ought to have been afforded the opportunity to forensically assess this witness testimony, particularly in light of the evidence that there exists a 6-hour recording of Madlanga recorded pursuant to his arrest, in which he alleged to have made various statements concerning me. The failure to make this recording available has materially prejudiced my ability to properly consider, analyze, and respond to the allegations arising from the testimony, notwithstanding that I have been implicated therein. After the witness completed his or her testimony, I specifically contacted my attorney to request the full recording referred to in that testimony. Said correspondence addressed to the commission by my attorneys is attached here to mark SS34. That recording has not been made available to me. I have no evidence as to how this recording was extracted or obtained. No information has been disclosed regarding its provenance. The circumstances under which it was recorded, the device from which it was sourced, or the manner in which it was preserved. There has likewise been no disclosure of any chain of custody, nor any assurance that the recording is complete, unaltered, or accurately reflects the original content. In these circumstances, the alleged recording is inherently unreliable. Its existence and purported content raises serious concerns as to authenticity, accuracy, and integrity, including whether it may have been edited, selectively presented, or otherwise manipulated. Absent proper disclosure and independent verification, it cannot reasonably be relied upon as evidence against me. Furthermore, I categorically deny that I have ever received, solicited, or accepted any form of gratification, inducement, benefit, or kickback from Matala for any other from any other person. Any suggestion to the contrary is false, unfounded, and devoid of any factual basis. It is untrue that now I need the chairperson and the commissioner's guidance. I don't want to call this name. In the meantime, it was witness so and so, and then tomorrow it will be like I exposed a name. I just want to get the guidance from the commission.
General, Ms. Bowe, please do not show this part of the, there are so many. I see also in 221.
Chair, it is redacted in the version that's going to be plighted.
General, may you please refer to witness F?
I will do so.
Yes.
I'm reading where I hope I won't make a mistake somewhere, but I saw it the first time. I hope I won't make the mistake, Chair.
Yes. All right,
Now,
please continue, General.
Thank you.
Well spotted, General.
On the other hand, just to ask one question, because of the fact that that video is on TV, and then if I refer to witness, I'm still in even saying this is the person. So I don't know. If the chairperson say move, I'll move.
Just continue, and when we get there, you see the difficulty is, and the reality is. So in a sense, it's let me not use the word I almost used.
I have a suggestion, Chair.
Yes.
According to my statement, this is the person that I'm talking to. But whichever witness XZ remain witness XZ. And it does not necessarily mean that witness XZ, it is the person that I'm talking about here. So as to make things easy. Otherwise, I will be then exposing him, even if I say witness so they will say, oh, this is the same person. That's my suggestion, Chair.
Just use F. We do have the difficulty that everybody knows we have, but just say witness F.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair.
For what it's worth.
It is untrue that Sergeant Witness F works under my command or that he acted as a middleman for the passing of money to or through me. Whilst Witness F falls within my broader portfolio, he does not report to me. He is several levels below me in the organizational hierarchy and has a direct line manager to whom he reports, which is not me. However, I want to make a statement that says I don't distance myself from being close to him. It is correct that Witness F and I have a close personal relationship. However, the relationship does not translate into, nor does it evidence any corrupt, improper conduct In particular, it does not mean that witness F acted or could have acted as an intermediary through whom I receive any illicit fund. It is notable that I am not the only senior SAPS official with whom witness F has a close personal relationship. Despite this, I am the only individual singled out in an apparent attempt to advance a narrative of impropriety. This is especially striking given that witness F is equally, if not more closely associated with other senior officials, including General Senthumule, yet and General Mkwanazi, yet no similar allegations have been leveled against them. I have pictures, bike riding, I have birthday parties where witness is together with these colleagues that I've mentioned. He's very close, he's a biker. He's a kind of a person, not because of his rank, he's a supportive person. When we have death case in the family, he's one of those people who say, how can I support? I will come and also support. Or if you, it's a person that is you get used to because he assists. He will assist. He will come to you and say, I know you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm making myself available to assist. So you get used to such a person. We do have such people, all of us, in our lives. In page this 222, in fact, to my knowledge, witness F and General Senthumule are known to socialize and engage in recreational activities together, including biking towards over the weekend. I do have a video material that I can actually play if needs be, but I do have it. That shows the relationship and how close they are. And then even in a party, birthday party where they are together, I do have those. It may not necessarily be put because it will expose, but I do have such now. This further illustrates that witness F maintains close personal relationship with a number of senior SAPS officials, and that my association with him is neither unique nor indicative of any impropriety. The selective focus on my relationship with witness F is therefore unfounded, indicative of a prejudicial and misleading inference. Likewise, as with the testimony of General Khumalo, I reserve my right to supplement this affidavit upon being finished with the alleged record, as well as the written statement and the full transcript of the witness testimony. Now, I'm about to leave General Khumalo's part and then go now to General Senthumule's part. There are things that I feel that I noted that I must also bring to the fore, where I made notes on the side. So I needed to hear from my council chair, because he said this morning she advised me and said, I saw, or I was advised that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 that you want to mention. Don't mention it before you discuss it with me. So I will rather maybe proceed, and then maybe at break, then she will advise me. But I do have my minutes that I made, so as not to deviate from the statement and waste time. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you.
General Senthumule's testimony. At the time of depositing to this affidavit, I had not been finished with the written statement and the incomplete transcript of General Senthumule's evidence before the Commission. I have accordingly not been in a position to properly consider or analyze her evidence in its entirety. In the circumstances, I respectfully reserve my right to supplement this affidavit and to deal fully with General Senthumule's evidence once the written statement and full transcript have been made available. Notwithstanding the above, I wish to draw the Commission's attention to General Senthumule's public criticism. During her testimony before the Commission of the disbandment of the PKTT and the withdrawal of the 121 dockets. However, on numerous occasions during telephonic conversation between General Senthumule and myself prior thereto, she was openly critical of the PKTT. Especially, I recall a particular telephone conversation in which General Senthumule expressed the view that the PKTT was untouchable and alleged that, in her opinion, the task team was being used to siphon the budget allocated to it. She further indicated that she did not believe that the PKTT genuinely engaged in effective policing or delivering meaningful investigative outcome. I was also able to retrieve a
General, sorry to interrupt, but again, for the record, I must point out that you did provide the Commission again on Monday with two annexures, SS 41 and 42, and you requested that they be read together with this paragraph that you just read out, section 228. I'm just putting that on the record.
I was able to retrieve a recording of this conversation from my device, and I furnished a copy thereof to my attorneys for forward transmission to the Commission. I wanted to play that recording, to request that it be played. It's not long, but I know that the kind of a person who came here before the Commission and testified, and I want the Commission to hear the same person, the different language, the same person is now talking. I don't know if I should continue reading.
We'll play the audio clip, but there is also a transcript of the audio clip, and that's at SS 47. If I can just click SS 40, I'll just locate the file now, Commissioner Below. File 2A. No, it's not.
Said SS 47.
It's, apologies, Commissioner Below, it's SS 42. Page 627.
Please play the clip.
Now, that is not the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Under the guise of this task team.
Not sikona lapha
Honestly.
siyaphandwa lapha siyaphenywa la.
Yeah, what I said, and ngiyacabanga ukuthi Natali, I'm sure we're busy because this is where these things are cooked. What I find embarrassing, and when I talk to people, sometimes they are complicit to crime being committed.
Yeah.
Actually complicit because
Yeah.
ne
Yeah.
le mfana beka constable nini ngisayishapti aba warrant aba captain seka colonel but uhamba la khamba khona uLucky
Oh, uLucky lo
uLucky umkhona.
Oh.
So at some point there was into ngathi bayarelate bayafana futhi ngathi they relate.
Oh, fana nomkhwanazi.
Yeah, kakhulu futhi. So
And uyena lo suspect ukuthi uthathe imali.
I would suspect uye lo NPA ethatha imali but
Ngithumela uShabalala.
Manje into engayi-understand ne ukuthi Khumalo like bakhuluma ngathi benza into ezi-right like just mina kuthi generally ngafunda ukuthi uba yisilima kuyanceda yabona ngoba mawusuka ubabonisa ukuthi uyabona kula wenza khona izitha so rather abacabanga ukuthi uhleli la abacabanga ukuthi uhleli khona but it's the same young Khumalo busy. I asked him the other day ngimbonise ngathi ufunda nona la bathi ngimbuthi athi ngathi wacishe ngawo cishe ngathi hawu so umkhwanazi ukuthumele ngala
ugijima ngami lo
so uthunyiwe because trust me at some point he was his driver ne mara kuthi nje yela ungambona ufana no Lucky at some point I can't remember owathi no ngathi bayahlobana yabona so I understand ukuthi le team wayengakhona ukuma sorry but it is because khona udoti nje abawupushayo that I can tell you because yini into enzima that's why ngithi that tomorrow sibize ukuthi ama-docket if ase-court there's no need for team ukuthi hlala yenzani if i-case ye-court niyabizwa niyasaphuna nama-witnesses you understand niya on that day hayi ukuthi kumele lihlale ngathi nilinde
I think ukhonsase no Lucky wathi ama-docket wamalethela kini
but akakwazi angisho kune-instruction general
ukuthi aye kuwe
yes
yebo
so which is why ngithi mina yabona ukuthi without ukuthi siveze ukuthi mina ngime kuphi asiyenza ohlala ubona usibize nje uthi hayi mina i-instruction general Senthumule give me feedback yebo
yeah ngizombiza but angithi uzongitshela nje anginikeze i-excuse ukuthi akekho local or ukuphi angithi ubonile ukuthi yena siya-attenda wonke umuntu uyattenda yena akaveli
ufonile njengoba letha ama-dockets ngathi mina sonke bathi size khona John wathi yena hayi ngeke uhlale e-ofisini ngathi mina hey kumnandi ngoba wena uvunyelwe uyabona
yena ubhizi uyazi ngokutshela babhizi bagijima ngami e-Left Center hot monitoring basizama amafoni wami ngapha nangapha ngiyathola konke lokho
but into ebuhlungu general ukuthi umgodi mina ngafunda ukuthi umgodi mawugubha akungeni lo mgubhela ngena wena
iproblem ukuthi ngihlala nomphathi wami ungathi akazi lutho kodwa uyazokungiba ngicela ukuphendula lokho lengenayo tu
okay Jimel mina tekele sharp.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. When she says Umene Tekela, she's actually saying, referring to the National Commission, say the National Commissioner Imene. I do have another recording, but I don't think it's necessary to play it because it has got also another language used by her. But it's a recording. If the commissioners want to have it, it's available to have it. So I just wanted to show that one moment she was saying when she speaks about General Mkhwanazi, say Ushamas, we bambishisa, wenza so. In the meantime, on the other hand, this is the language that she speaks to me as we speak. So and the reason why I recorded something that led to this is that the National Commissioner gave me information about what she said about me, and she said you can go ask her. And then in going to confront her, I realized that if I were to go confront her, she might come back and say, I came to threaten her, I did this and I did that. And so I realized that that might be dangerous. So I went straight home. When I'm at home, because the National Commission said, you can ask her. She was sitting here where you are sitting in a private jet and said she was sitting there and she said 1, 2, 3. So as a result of that, I called her, but I chose to make sure that at least let me record the conversation so that tomorrow, even when she makes allegations, I'm protected. That's the sole reason why I had to record that. But I will move on now. Now,
General, let's just place the date. Look at the first page, at page 626 of the transcript. Is the SS42? Is the date recorded there, to your recollection, the date of the of the discussion between you and General Senthumule?
It has got the date on it, the recording.
It's this is in file 2A, file 2A, page 626, SS42. And then there's recorded at and then date held. So I wanted to know if you confirm that that's the date you had the discussion with General Senthumule.
That's the date, because I see the verse number.
Please read the date into the record.
This is to certify.
Not just the date, just
Or the
read
date.
Yes.
Or the date, it will be on the 23rd of 4/2025.
Thank you, General.
That's all.
And that was the date on which you had this conversation with General Senthumule?
I take it because I know it from my phone. There's got the date now. I see the date here, I confirm. If this date that I see, yes, that what is in the recording, I confirm.
Well, can you, in the adjournment, just double check that that is the correct date of the conversation?
I will do that. And then the last.
Before you move on, General, Ms. Hassim, you've given these additional annexures. SS42, we know it's that transcript of the discussion. What is SS41 for the record? And I don't recall whether the supplementary SS46 that you referred to earlier, whether it was described for the record, because we didn't go to it. So if you would just say what it is.
I'll do so. So we've just listened to SS41. SS42 is a transcript of that audio recording. And
You can come back to 46 if you're not able to say it now.
SS46 is the register that the general was referring to for the allocation of the car to his office.
Thank you.
The second example that I want to give, which is in fact criminal in nature. General Senthumule said to the commissioners in her testimony here that I was paranoid that I'm being investigated all the time. Now, what happened? And she said her gadgets were taken by the Hawks, her gadgets were taken by IPIT. What actually happened is that I applied to have a security threat assessment conducted for me because of the work that I was doing, especially coming back from the city of Joburg, where I had protectors due to the high level of corruption, the work that I was doing that side, and she rejected it. At that time, as I came in, I reported under her. Now she rejected it.
So she rejected what exactly?
My request. She disapproved it. The National Commissioner called her and said, but you can do it, because even myself, when I was there, at this level, I had protection. And then she said, she wrote there, I've got paperwork and I think I attached it. She said, I need a policy that says I can do it. This is what she said. After quite some time, weeks later, I get a call from Department of Finance. Department of Finance is saying, General, we keep on getting these overtime claims about people that are bodyguarding you. Do you have protectors? I say, no, I don't have bodyguards. I said, but we've got this paperwork with her signature and staff officer's signature claiming overtime for me, for the protectors that are protecting me. People that I've never seen, their names are there, I know them, I've seen them. I've never met those people even to date. I have paperwork where overtime was paid. where paperwork was signed by her together with her staff officer, then what should a reasonable man under or in my position do? Is to report it. And I reported it to IPIT. So IPIT, please look into this. And I didn't want to maintain a bad relationship with her. I became neutral and unchanged. I continued to work with her as if everything is normal. Now, the bottom line is, I was not protected by those individuals. Here's paperwork with her signature. I wish it can be shown here, in fact, because I did submit it. However, what is important to note is that money was paid. I did not have those bodyguards. She signed together with the PA, with her staff officer. That's the bottom line. So those two on each, I want to just, Chair, I've got a number of issues that I want to raise in relation to this part of General Senthumule. Now, the difference that I had with General Senthumule is that I was after I was then promoted to become her boss now. The thing is, she came here, she was talking about, I've been the chair of this and I'm the chairperson of this, and in some of those, I nominated there to be the chair there, I sent her there. Now, I want to say, like the recent Interpol one in Cape Town, I'm the one who said we've got the National Assembly of Interpol represent us as the division, and she went and she was the one representing us there. But what I want to say is that each time we appoint someone to act as the acting divisional commissioner, because she's going all over the country to Malawi, every now and then she's going. When the person that I appoint to act, they will find 3-4 boxes with a lot of files. And you find that some of the due dates have long passed, and then we are sitting with boxes that are unsigned, and the National Commissioner says, but what is going on? Why do I get this file 3 months later? Or some of the files are just lying and have not been signed. And some of them, she will take them home and they will spend weeks at her home. Now, I then wrote an email to all of them, including the component heads, that says, documents should not sit in any office for more than 48 hours. I must have it so that I can also sign, because I account to the National Commissioner.
Aren't those HR issues now? This about boxes and so on, and how long they should or should not be kept? Are those not HR issues that should have been ventilated within SAPS? Do they bear relevance to what we are investigating?
Yes. What I'm saying is that I'm leading to, there's a number of things, including that what is being investigated, but something caused the situation to be the way it is, where I have to then, she said I'm a touch and go. Today you are in good terms, tomorrow you are not. But the problem is that I have to do my work. For me not to fail the National Commissioner, I also have to be strict on some instances. That's why I was saying this, Commissioner. But there's a number of issues that I've written here that I must point out. That is one of them. I'm moving to the next one, and I don't know if I've...
What I'll say is this. We don't want to be seen to be suppressing you on matters of criminality or alleged criminality, especially at a level as high as that of lieutenant generals, or generals for that matter, even if below lieutenant general. We would not want to be seen to be suppressing you on that. But looking at your statement, it's probably, yeah, it's certainly one of the longest, probably around the length of Minister Mkunu's. Yours and Minister Mkunu's are the longest we have had thus far. So that tells me that there must have been extensive consultations between you and your legal representatives. I'm surprised that you have all these additional issues which you want to add. And I'm wondering whether you did not inform your legal representatives about them. Because if you had and they are of relevance, I would imagine they would have been included here. But I go back to the point I made initially, which is that it would be the last thing we would want to do, that is to suppress you on allegations of criminality. But you appear to have a whole lot of things that you say you have notes on and which you say you want to add. I would say this, perhaps, Ms. Killian, perhaps it's best that you should have discussions with your client on these additional issues, because it gets difficult and it presents us here with certain practical issues for us to first have to listen and then down the line decide, but do we want to get into files that have been delayed and been kept for 3 months and so on, and then we move on, we listen. We don't want to listen to that as well. It just presents us with difficulties.
Thank you, Chair. I understand what is raised, and this has been discussed with the witness. We will again raise it during the tea time. I think if he moves on his statement and keep those additional issues for discussions and consultation purposes.
Yeah. The other option is for the witness, subject to your advice, of course, to furnish us with a supplementary statement that touches on all these issues.
If it is necessary, we will consider that position. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. General, please continue with your statement. So
Chair.
I again emphasize that we are not suppressing you on testifying on matters of criminality that bears relevance to our terms of relevance. But please take advice from your
I do, Chair. May I ask a question, Chair?
Yes.
Or just a comment, and this with respect as well. No, I'm not arguing. Please don't punish me for that, Chair. What I want to raise, Chair, is that from 6 July, when a statement was made about General Sibiya being a criminal, and when things were said by all the witnesses, many witnesses that came in, and just all of them panting General Sibiya, and I know the commission is sitting here with General Sibiya, who is known to be this criminal. And I was also advised to keep quiet and speak at the right time, at the right platform. Now I'm at the right platform where I've kept quiet. They've brought many witnesses. Everything is about me, even out there, the whole country watching me. And when I'm supposed to bring now my story, I'm going to leave here now not having brought their own story that relates to the work of the commission and the work that I am doing, or that I did that involved them, including even in criminal activities, because it's bullet. I know there has been a lot of rush work because of the way the commission, the first lawyer that I dealt with resigned from the firm and left, and then she took over. Now the next thing is, every now and then we're receiving piles and piles of files from the commission, even until the last hour. Now, when I write, I read the statement. On the side, I make notes. My team was saying to me, read your statement, and then make notes on the side. Now, I read my statement and I make notes on the things that I want to say as examples, because if I had to give it to them, it's going to be a very long document. So I thought some of the things I'll speak to. Now, if I am not able to point them out, I know my legal, like I said initially, she said to me, whatever that you want to say, let's discuss it first. But I thought some of these things will be relevant to the work that has been done by the commission. But I will take advice, Chair, from you with respect. I will then just for now keep quiet and then listen what the council will advise me on. I will read the statement. My only pain is that my story is not known and is not heard by the nation as it's supposed to be, because I know that it is not true and I have evidence. Somebody spoke about the BBL. And I know Commissioner Khumalo was also asking questions about the BBL. She reported to me she was she could not sit in the car. She was lying in the car because she had to spend over 3 months without sitting.
Who's she?
General Senthumule. Now, I'm just saying there's a whole lot of things that one must talk to as we go along. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Chair, may I?
General, earlier I said, the idea is not to gag you on matters that bear relevance to what the commission is investigating, especially matters of criminality. That's the last thing we would want to do. But I am saying, and you say that you want the nation to know your story. You have told your story. Yes, you may have other detail. In the 90 pages of your statement, which, as I said, is one of the longest we have had, you have told your story, and you are going to go through that entire statement, and the nation will hear what you have to say. I'm making a simple point, and it is this. We listen to you, you tell us about matters of criminality, and then you move on to other issues, and these are not in your statement. You move on to other issues, one example being the question of the loads and loads of files, about which you raised a complaint. These have been kept for more than 3 months. Files should not be kept for this long, and I ask you, is that not an HR matter? We are going, if you have all of these stories which are not in your statement, we are going to be engaging on the relevance of some of those stories, and we are going to waste time in the process. I make a simple suggestion to you, which I also make to Ms. Killian, your advocate. And I say, please confer with Ms. Killian. Ms. Killian, as your legal advisor, will advise you which ones of those matters are relevant and should therefore be raised with the commission. She will also even advise you whether the best way of doing that is by way of a supplementary statement or by way of you giving testimony here about them. I see no unfairness at all in that.
Thank you very much.
I see no unfairness
Thank
at
you, Chair.
all. Thank you.
I'll proceed, Chair.
Please.
Paragraph, I have to now go to command and control and failures evidential from the National Commissioner's testimony. In this section of the affidavit, I deal with the overarching tenor of the testimony before the Commission, with particular reference to the evidence of the National Commissioner and to a lesser extent that of General Mkhwanazi. The National Commissioner's testimony contained nuanced inconsistencies, which raises legitimate questions regarding the effectiveness of his leadership. By way of example, his version reflects a situation in which two senior officials were permitted to operate under contradictory instructions without clarity or coordination at the level of National Commissioner. Such contradictory direction is indicative of ineffective command and control, creates confusion within the organization, undermines operational efficiency, and exposes the institution to unnecessary risk. Now, I make a note here that says, please refer to the Portfolio Committee's chair statement, but I'll proceed with the statement. What is particularly remarkable is the vagueness of the National Commissioner's testimony regarding the steps he took once he became aware that the docket had been moved to head office when questioned by Commissioner Baloyi on the action he took in response to this development. It was expressly put to him that I reported to him and that he was my superior, yet despite this knowledge, the National Commissioner was unable to articulate any decisive action that he took to address what he now characterized as serious misconduct. Then I also read 235 and 236 and 237. It was further put to him that he knew there was no approved plan authorizing the relocation of the dockets, and when asked General Masemola what he did about this, his response was, and I quote, "At some point I did talk to him, that I hear rumors that dockets are here. Remember, the agreement was dockets go to province, which you disprove, that they go to station of origin. So there cannot be dockets that come to this head office. So make sure that you do likewise. There should not be dockets that is here." I'm continuing with the statement, but I wanted to just quickly point out that the Commissioner also says that they said docket should go to province. He agrees that the docket had to go to province. It is extraordinary that this constituted the response of the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. General Masemola has repeatedly asserted that my purported instruction to have the dockets brought to head office was highly irregular and improper. Yet, when confronted with precisely the same circumstances, he now elevates as a grave irregularity. The extent of his intervention was limited to vague and informal remarks about rumors rather than any decisive or corrective action. Considering the fact that General Senthumule said, I did inform the National Commissioner, so it's not rumors, he was told by General Senthumule. I'm proceeding. Such a response is wholly inconsistent with the seriousness he claims to attach to the matter. His failure to act in the face of what he alleges was a serious procedural impropriety fundamentally undermines the credibility of his allegations against me and reflect a concerning abdication of leadership responsibilities at a critical juncture. This is, in my view, calls into question the sudden outrage directed at my purported conduct and suggests an after-the-fact reconstruction of events rather than a genuine concern. The stance now advanced by the National Commissioner bears no resemblance to his previous conduct and appears instead to have emerged only once there was heightened national scrutiny and criticism following the press briefing delivered by General Mkhwanazi. It is significant that at a time when he claims to have held grave reservations about the handling of the dockets and the disbandment implementation plan, he neither actively intervened to hold the purported irregular conduct nor took any formal steps to reprimand me or take corrective action. His current assertion must therefore be understood within the context in which they arise. They are calculated to create distance between himself and operational decisions made under his oversight and to deflect responsibility at a moment when public attention has intensified. Such conduct creates the distinct impression that the narrative now advanced is shaped less by an accurate recollection of events and more by a desire to protect his own position in response to external criticism. These inconsistencies warrant a cautious approach by the Commission in assessing the credibility of the evidence and his attempt to attribute impropriety to my actions. Of equal concern is the National Commissioner's testimony regarding the events surrounding the attempted return of the dockets to KwaZulu-Natal. He testified that I was not supposed to remove the dockets from the province without knowledge of the provincial commissioner. Yet, despite this alleged impropriety, he stated that I should finish what I started and ensure that the dockets were returned in the same way that I had taken them. Just to remind the commissioners that considering the fact that they were brought by General Khumalo and he sent Sergeant Khumalo. They were brought by CI to head office, not by me. It devised logic that the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service would respond in such a manner. Even if one were to assume, for argument's sake, that he was genuinely dissatisfied with the relocation of the dockets to head office, his response upon learning of the failed effort to return them to KwaZulu-Natal and the reasons therefore ought to have been to intervene decisively. One would reasonably expect the National Commissioner, as the ultimate custodian of command and control, to take charge of the situation, to engage directly with General Mkhwanazi, and to issue clear formal directives to ensure that the dockets were returned through proper channels. Instead, his purported instructions suggest abdication of responsibility and a lack of meaningful leadership involvement in an operational matter he now portrays as critical. His reaction in this irreconcilable with the seriousness he attributes to the issue and raises material questions about the reliability of his testimony and the adequacy of his oversight in the circumstances. Importantly, this conduct demonstrates a leader who was not exercising effective control over a matter falling squarely within his responsibility as National Commissioner. It is also noteworthy that the National Commissioner claims that he only became aware in early May that the 121 dockets classified as under investigation by the PKTT had been removed from the PKTT and handed over to General Senthumule, an event he characterized as yet another surprise. It is with respect remarkable that a general of his standing who attended the very meetings at which the operational implementation of the disestablishment plan was discussed, could repeatedly profess surprise at developments arising from decisions in whose formulation and oversight he was directly involved. It is equally difficult to accept this aspect of his version. On his own account, he was working closely with General Khumalo in putting together the phased-out disestablishment plan. It was General Khumalo who, on the 28th of April, handed the case dockets to General Senthumule. Yet the National Commissioner would have the Commission accept that General Khumalo, who was operating in close coordination and proximity with him throughout his process, did not inform him. On the very day that the dockets had been handed over, that proposition is quite simply impossible. Now I'm moving to allegations of a potentially corrupt relationship with Brown Mokgotsi. I know Brown Mokgotsi as an activist based in the Northwest province. During or about December 2024, Mokgotsi began contacting me, during which communications he warned me that certain individuals were purportedly attempting to have me removed from SAPS. He further informed me that false information was being circulated about me. I met Mokgotsi for the first time in January 2025 when I was in Cape Town, or about the 8th. Now, here in the statement, it says about the 8th to attend the African National Congress Gala Dinner event. It was an an error here because I was there on official duties, not attending the gala dinner. I was not even at the gala dinner myself. So I think it was just a unfortunate sentence, how it was crafted here by maybe my lawyer.
So you're wishing to amend
To amend.
your paragraph 250?
Yes, I never attend the gala dinner. I don't attend the gala dinner. I was there at January 8th as the management of the police will be there to manage the big event that takes place. So
Yes, Mr. Sim.
Sorry, I just want to understand, when in January 2025 were you in Cape Town? What dates?
it is somewhere from the 5th until the 12th. I think we've got paperwork around that that shows the.
Okay, so you were there from 5 to 12. You can provide us with that paperwork.
I have it. You'll get it over
Okay.
lunch.
5 to 12 January 2025. And for what purpose were you there?
It is meetings with the minister, including also running over to January 8th and beyond.
What do you mean by running over to January 8th?
We went there to Cape Town. The whole management of the police was in Cape Town because if there's going to be a big event, a major event, there will be a deployment in that specific province. And then some of the meetings and operations will be held from that particular province where there's going to be a major event.
Did you attend the ANC gala dinner?
No,
Okay.
it's what I'm trying to correct.
Thanks.
So would it be accurate to record it like this? I met Mokgotsi for the first time in January 2025 when I was in Cape Town from 5 to 12 January 2025 on official business for meetings with the minister. I did not attend the ANC Gala Dinner event.
Yes, the only correction or thing that may change, Chair, will be the date. I do have it. Last night I looked at it. I've got it. So I will make it available, including the signatures of the National Commission that authorized me to go there and the hotel bookings. I've got it. So I was just saying this was a typo. It was at the gala dinner. I haven't been at the gala dinner. So subsequent to that meeting, Mokgotsi and I met on a couple of occasions in Johannesburg. When I say on a couple of occasions, it's
Sorry,
two times.
General. Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to leave it for later, but I actually think I should ask you this now because it is to clarify your own statement. And that when you say you met him for the first time in January, do you remember the date on which you met him? Because initially when I read the statement, I thought it was around the 8th, but it's not clear to me now.
No.
So when did you meet him?
No, around the 8th. Around the 8th, it was the January 8th statement, somewhere there. But I'm not sure whether it may have been on the 8th exactly, because remember sometimes the 8th becomes on a Wednesday or Thursday, but you find that then the event will be on a Saturday. So, but it was around that. So I have, let me provide the paperwork, but I met him around that morning before I left, because it was the first time I was going to meet him or see him. What happened, you see, I tend now to explain. And I don't want to explain.
Okay, I just...
Sorry. Is it not enough if we just proceed on the basis that it was on one of the days when he was in Cape Town?
That's fine, Chair. I just wanted to know whether there was a date that the witness could give us. If not, we will deal with it later.
I'm saying this because I see that
Yes.
the general is not able to
Yes.
give us a specific date. Yeah.
I accept that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can proceed with your statement.
On the occasions where I met Moti, we did not discuss any official policing business, nor did we discuss any operational, investigative or intelligence-related matters pertaining to the SAPS. Our interactions were not of an official nature, nor did they involve the exercise of any police function, the exchange of confidential information, or any discussion related to my official duties or responsibilities. But safe to say that I did explain that mostly when I met Moti, he informed me about the danger that I'm facing, be careful, you are being investigated yourself. And there's a part that I didn't want to explain, Chair, that looks like, for instance, or maybe I'll inform the evidence at the later stage, because it was not my place to say 1, 2. I can only end it here and say this is where I know him. And then the other part I'll explain to the evidence leader, and then the commissioners will say, no, you can say it. Significantly, at no stage has Moti asked or suggested or attempted to arrange for me to meet Madlanga. The inquiry docket and search and seizure warrant.
General, maybe before you proceed there, in that paragraph 250, that very last line where you say, subsequent to that meeting, Mokgotsi and I met on a couple of occasions in Johannesburg. Couple here meaning twice?
2
or
times.
It's just informal? Twice.
2
Only
times.
Twice. Okay, thank you.
The inquiry docket and search and seizure warrant. On 7 July 2025, an inquiry docket PHQ 2/07/2025 was opened to investigate allegations arising from a media briefing by General Mkhwanazi concerning the disbandment of the PKTT, with Brigadier Sipokunene appointed as the investigating officer. On or about 25th of August 2025, Brigadier Kunene launched an ex parte application in terms of Section 29, subsection 1A of the Cybercrime Act for the issuing of a search, access and seizure warrant. That application is identified me and 3 others as suspects in respect of offenses including defeating or obstructing the course of justice, fraud, corruption under the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, and contravention of the Powers and Privileges and Immunities of Parliament Act. Pursuant to that application, Mudau Judge J granted an order on 25th of August 2025 authorizing the search and seizure of 2 iPhone devices belonging to Madlanga. On 8 October 2025, Mudau J granted a further order ostensibly based on the same ex parte application, authorizing a separate warrant, 1, directed at me alone. Warrant 1 authorized the search and the search, access, seizure of electronic communications linked to my email account and was executed on 9 October 2025 by members of South African Police Service, including Brigadier Kunene. A copy of warrant 1 is attached here to marked SS35. During the execution of the warrant, my laptop and 4 mobile phones were seized, as well as devices belonging to my, here is written to my wife, children, and my protectors. I want to correct,
Yes, General.
that my wife device was not taken because she was not around. my children, they just looked into their phones and left them. They went through them to see what is inside, and they left the one for the children. So it's something that just needed to be corrected. And
So should it read, my laptop and 4 mobile phones were seized, as well as devices belonging to my protectors?
Yes. Now, I don't know somewhere
But does the rest of that sentence still hold true?
it will be true. Because even for the protectors, they took their cell phones as well. So I don't know if it's, I will read. Notwithstanding that several of those devices were not authorized by the warrant, a further mobile phone was seized from me on 17 October 2025 when I came back from ad hoc committee. On or about 21st October 2025, a letter of demand was addressed on my behalf to Brigadier Kunene and the National Commissioner, detailing the defects in the warrant 1, recording the unlawfulness of the search and seizure, and demanding the immediate return of the seizure items. No response was received. A copy of this letter of demand is attached here to marked as SS 36. I must say, till to date, I still don't have my device, and some of the information that I needed was in the devices. I don't have. On the 2nd of December 2025, my attorneys were served with a further search, access, and seizure warrant, warrant 2, authorized on 1 December 2025 by Mudau J, pursuant to a second ex parte application launched by Brigadier Kunene under the same case number. Upon consideration of that application, it is apparent that the founding affidavit is, in all material respect, a duplication of the affidavit used in the first ex parte application, save that the number of alleged suspects was increased without explanation, and additional individuals were authorized to participate in the search and seizure operation. Now, on 8 December 2025, I launched an application for the rescission of the order granted ex parte by the Honorable Mudau J on 1st December 2025 on the basis that the resort to an ex parte procedure, particularly in respect of the second ex parte application, was improper, unjustified, and constituted an abuse of process designed to obtain intrusive relief without proper notice or judicial scrutiny. This application is still pending.
Chair,
what I wanted to,
General.
What I wanted to point out, Chair.
Sorry, just a moment, General. Chair, it's just past 11. I wasn't sure whether we should just continue to 11:15 or take a break.
Thank you, Ms. Hassim. Let's just listen to what the General wants to point out, and then we'll take the break.
The issue of in the previous paragraph that I just read, the issue of the additional non-subs individuals were authorized to participate in the search and seizure operation. Something that I just want to confirm again and ascertain with my legal team when I'm back.
We'll take the adjournment at this stage, but we would like to see the evidence leaders and the legal representatives outside right away, please. We'll resume at, did I say, at past? Let's adjourn.